Hey guys, this is Michael with the Jungle Gym Reviews. Today we're doing the much anticipated Home Gym Tour 2025. Much has changed since 2024 Home Gym Tour. I am now doing this YouTube gym equipment stuff full time. This here we are in is called the Rack Room. It is a single car garage bay. This was my original garage gym. One of two studios I have, which we'll show here in just a second. So this is our single car garage bay, the Rack Room. We have a double car garage bay, which is now just called the studio. All of it is effective studio now. But at the heart of every gym is a rack or two or three. So this is where we review racks, rack systems, rack attachments. This whole room is actually one connected rig, which I'll kind of talk about here in a second. But at the basis is three distinct 3x3 power racks with 16-inch depth cross members, 42-inch across. I'm going to do a pretty in-depth video of this one here, which I think is one of the most capable kind of machine / cable simulating power racks. That video should be out in another week or two because I get a lot of specific questions and this rack just has so much to unpack by itself. A high-level overview. This is the main rack. I do most of my lifts off here. The machines come from the lever arms, which are kitted out with multiple handles. We've done a video on those recently. I'll link below. The Vendetta strength and athletic brackets, which allow you to move the lever arms up and down and stop and start them from different heights. So that in and of itself makes lever arms very effective for simulating machines, depending on the height you put it at and the different ways you can use to load it. Above it, you will see that these exist nicely with one of my other favorite recent ones, the Bulletproof VTS. This will be another review we have coming in the next month or two. So the VTS is a sliding trolley system / Smith machine. So these can slide up and down the rack and have numerous different handles that you can lock and unlock. And one of my favorite parts about all of this being the Voltras. So dual Voltras, that is the cable system for this rack. They have the Darko lifting quick mounts, so I can quickly take these from here down somewhere else in the rack on the front feet to do low pulling, mid pulling if I want to pull it on an upright. Those can create resistance for the lever arms. So this rack in general just has a lot of functionality packed into it. Stay tuned for that in-depth video shortly. As you'll see now here, as you take a step back at the top, these are all 100-inch uprights, and these are all interconnected. So the racks, this rack, and this rack are connected by a cross brace here at the top. All the way across are, I believe it's a 70-inch GetRXd cross member. Titan Fitness, Titan Series 100-inch uprights. I like those because A, they're cheap, B, you can buy them a la carte, and C, they have the keyhole uprights, which is one of the biggest things for me to be able to use both 1-inch and 5/8 inch attachments. I don't find myself needing the 5/8 inch as much, but I do like having the option to. So Titan lets you order a lot of things a la carte. Plus I'm 6'2", so I like being able to not touch the top when it comes to things like a pull-up bar, or in this case, pull-up handles. These are the Antafit Raven hangers that we've seen. They're adjustable pull-up handles that move on rollers left to right with these little pop pins, and you can adjust the handles themselves in 45-degree increments to do things like close grip pull-ups, chin-ups, wide grip pull-ups. Take the pop in, change the width. I can get a full extension here with my feet barely off the ground. So that's why I really like the 100-inch uprights for me personally. So they're interconnected across and all around, which kind of gives it this nice, cool playground vibe, hence the name Jungle Gym, play on words. I also like to take things like these. These are actually little like seatbelt straps, some gymnastics rings I take for my daughters to be able to hang around, swing around while I'm getting a workout in. So I like that they get to be a part of the whole Jungle Gym, but obviously part of me being into fitness and health and stuff, and they see me setting that example. Now, coming down this upright, coming across, various little, there's so many little things. I'm not going to go into all the little accessories and storage and what all these are. Behind that, you'll see connected is a 5 to 100 pound dumbbell rack that is made by Synergy Fitness Customs. I'm going to be doing a full review of this dumbbell rack coming soon, but this is 5 to 100 pound Troy Pro style dumbbells. So these are pretty commercial fixed dumbbells. I had gyms growing up that had these dumbbells. They're a little bit thinner diameter, 27 millimeters Pro style, meaning that they just have like plates that kind of stack onto the end. And I've kind of oriented them based on the angle and height I want for everything. What's cool about this rack in general, we'll go into this in the review, the Synergy Fitness rack, is it is super low profile. So the fact I have, you know, a 5 to 100 pound set in, I think it's like a 72-inch width here, awesome for home gyms. The fact I can have this in here, and then again, since it's 3x3, I can connect it to things, to this connected rack. So that's all pretty cool stuff. I do have various sort of, let's say, attachment storage here in the middle, leg rollers for benches, decline sit-ups, stuff like that. There's a 4-6 Fitness Flex Arm, I believe it's called. That one's really cool. You've seen it probably in my review of the Voltras, and that's a really unique attachment. Coming to this one, this is my more, let's say, a review-oriented rack. Right now, Belzo Steel Smith machine dropped in on the front. When Rep Fitness Smith machine comes out, that'll be here as well. Numerous things I will be testing on this rack, but just another set of rack attachments, stuff for review. We've had other pieces and machines in here before. Overflow storage from my wall control, which we'll show in a second. These are the honeycomb storage from Fringe Sport, and I just bought these little metal pegboard storage type things on Amazon, which allows me to store some extra attachments. There are just so many attachments on here. Another pull-up station here at the top for those lever arms that I don't use the original multi-grip handles, but now, well, at least when this Smith machine is not here, I can use this as an extra fixed set of pull-ups if I want, and then obviously if I want to put them back in the lever arms, I can in theory. In the back, actually, one other cool thing, I used to have rack-mounted Pepin Fast Series dumbbells. Right now, these are just housing my Ironmaster, which is another review. Those are a little bit harder to adjust. Everyone knows the Ironmaster drill where you got to thread in the spin locks on the end. A full review of those coming the next few months as well, but it's just another little storage there. This here is something I get asked about all the time. This is my work in progress rack. There is GetRX tornado arms on a Rep Aries 2.0. So this is a video in progress I'm working on. This is a Rep Aries 2.0 retrofit to a pretty much any uprights you want. On this, I'm going to be showing it on a Titan series. Again, I mentioned Titan series 100-inch uprights. So you'll see some weird little cross bracing here on the back. I have some exciting news coming in the next couple months that I'm working with a company to help custom fab some cross members. I'm not taking any profit, anything from it whatsoever. I literally, with my engineering background, just wanted other people to be able to do something similar to what I'm doing. So I'll be directing you guys to a third-party manufacturer. They're going to have these brackets. They're going to have some of the parts you need for this retrofit. And then you'll be able to do exactly what the goal is here, which is Rep Aries 2.0, fit it to any rack you want, whether that's a Rogue rack, Titan rack, Belzo Steel rack. In addition to that, if you also want to add things like the tornado arms, we'll be adding some little brackets and connectors for those as well. So that'll be out hopefully in the next 2 to 3 months as well. I'm getting some prototype parts in, so I'll be able to test those out soon. But I am very, very, very excited for those. And then on the wall here, we do have the good old trusty wall control. As I mentioned with that Fringe Sport pegboard, I kind of ran out of space. So this is the original storage here. I have so many attachments here, and then on the other side in the studio, everything comes with attachments, and there's so many pads and cable attachments, cool cable attachments out these days. So this is majority where I store most of my stuff. So there's just a lot of good stuff here. So that's pretty much it for the rack room. There's things like a mini split, there's flags, there's lighting. I've kind of talked about those in past videos. I've built this whole room myself in a garage, heating, cooling, insulation, and done all the DIY stuff, everything. So I'm really proud of this space. And now, yes, this space is completely over the top and extra, and I do not need it all, but it is very fun. It is very functional. And now I'll take you to the rest of the somewhat functional garage. Functional for what? Gym equipment reviews. We don't need to take too much. Okay, cameraman lady. There's batteries. There's, this is a normal house. Okay, it's a normal house that doesn't have a 3-car garage anymore. That's completely full of gym equipment. It's normal from the sense that somebody lives here. Let's put it that way. So there's overflow storage here, kids chalk and bubbles, and that's why we're here. And this beautiful walkway exists exactly to get into the studio side. Just think, we used to park cars here. There's so much going on here as well, where to even start. So this one you guys have seen for a while, GetRXd Tornado. I have reviews of this. If you're interested in pretty much any of these products, I either obviously have a review in the past, I'll try to link in the description below, or it'll be coming out soon in the next 1 to 2 to 3 months. That is what all this space here is now fully for. So this space is, I would say, the revolving door of equipment. The rack room kind of stays at a base the same, but that's all more focused for attachments. And this is like big machines, big rack systems. Here we actually have a couple recovery products in the Saunabox, Solara. This review will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. I am pretty into health and fitness, and recovery is definitely high on my priority list, especially with some, let's say, health issues that I've been working through in the past. Here we have the recently set up and recently released GetRXd Viper cable tower. So like the Tornado rack with the Tornado arms, this is a single stack functional trainer, low profile, wall mounted. I don't have it wall mounted here because I do not want to wall mount it to my studio, but at home you will wall mount this. It takes up like 12 to 14 inches from the wall. We've done a review here of the Iron Bull Frankenstein rack, and very recently as well, the PRX Build Limitless Halo arms, just like the Vendetta Strength and Athletics lever arms that I've kind of kitted and built in the rack room. These are the fully loaded off-the-shelf version that work on 3x3 racks, Imperial and metric. The Iron Bull rack will be leaving very soon, in fact tomorrow, and that's why we're filming this at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday once the kids are sleeping. That's the revolving door around here, because there's more racks sitting outside. My HOA, my neighbors, everyone very much loves me and my home gym, and they all support me and come over and work out. So this here is a newer addition. This is the Maxum X1 rack, 3x3 rack, Maxum version of kind of those Tornado arms. Definitely a little bit different, so not infringing on any patents, I believe. PRX Stealth Bench, more of a light to medium duty bench, but overall some good quality. I don't want to spoil too much for that review. Of course, I love cardio. None of my viewers pretty much like cardio, but things like STEPR Stairclimbers, affordable at-home stair climbers with big entertainment. We've done a review recently of the GMWD Pendulum Squat. This was an $800 piece that works very, very well for the price. So absolutely no complaints there. And if you can kind of see and step over here again, when I'm not filming reviews, these things get pushed all into the corners to be able to either use them or get them out of the way so other things don't get shown. But this is another Maxum product. This is their LEC2, I believe. This is the leg extension leg curl, which is made to compete with the likes of the Temple of Gains, with the Titan Fitness version, and any other versions that are about $2,000, $2,500. It's got some nice features like a cam for both leg extension, leg curls, handles, and a flat pad for leg curl brace. This is one of our newer smart systems we've reviewed recently in the AEKE Smart Home Gym K1 AEKE. We've done Expedient Gym Monster. We will have Tonal 2, I believe, coming in the future as well. I am an engineer by trade, so I'm into kind of the software, geeky technology, and I know a lot of people are. That's where something like that comes into play for those who need a little more help at home. Keppi Bench 6000, I get asked about this thing all the time. You'll find out soon. And one of the ones that's not here for sale in the US yet, in the ATX Vertical Leg Press. I took this home from Home Gym Con. ATX will be releasing their products in the US either later this year, early next year. So you can expect full video on that as well. And obviously try to not make your eyes bleed with all the actual garage outdoor equipment that I pretty much never use. If you were to look outside our house, my wife is nodding, nodding the camera, because it's a hassle to now move a snowblower and mow your lawn when you got to take it out and move gym equipment to do that. So guys, that's pretty much it, I think, for this home gym tour. There's so much more I could go into, all the little pieces that make the decor and the lights and the garage door. There's just so much here, and I don't want to bore you, but I'm really excited for all the reviews. Thank you guys so much for all the support. That's why this is possible. That's why we've completely taken over my wife's 3-car garage. That's why we might need a bigger space to do reviews. And that's why we're going to keep growing this channel, 2 reviews a week. Stay tuned. We'll see you next year, Home Gym Tour 2026.